What's up? What's up? What's up? It's the first installment of Irrelevant E. It's gonna be kind of weird doing this without the homies. So if you follow the Irrelevant Bros, awesome. If you don't, you should. This is kind of my first solo mission, so like I said, it's a little weird doing this without them. I kind of miss those guys. Thanks, Corona. Um, yeah. So this is my show, solo, flying solo. This is gonna be the Irrelevant E show where we talk about QAnon and uncover that mystery. I'm just kidding. Don't. That's not my thing. We're not talking about QAnon. It's some bullshit. No, this is my own show. It's going to be a little unfiltered, a little more unfiltered than what the Irrelevant Bros is. And welcome. Like I said, this is my first episode. We're going to keep it kind of quick, and I'm going to be doing these a little bit more frequently than we do the Irrelevant Bros, although we're going to be doing some more of that as well. So if you are a fan, cool. Good news. We're coming back. If not, I guess that doesn't pertain to you. So also, if you haven't yet, check out the irrelevantnetwork.com. We've got a bunch of different shows that we do there. Honeydew Podcasts, Bounce Pass Podcast. So there's quite a few things for everybody. But yeah, welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you here. I won't be eating dog food today, which is I think where we left off on the Irrelevant Bros. So yeah. I'm just gonna be talking about things like that you all know and love. Like I'm just gonna be shitting on your favorite movies, and that's what I do. Speaking of, I wish I had like a good movie to tell you about, but I don't. The latest movie that I actually watched was The Tax Collector, which I think is directed by David Ayer, the infamous Suicide Squad director. And God, it was fucking terrible. Like that movie sucked. It started out great for like the first 15 minutes. I mean, Shia LaBeouf was in that movie and he got all tatted up, which kind of was like, it was really cool seeing him in a role that, he's playing this sort of like LA gangster, security enforcer, like drug enforcer. But in typical David Ayer form, he just brought us another generic, boring ass LA gang movie. It sucked. It really did. Like, there's not much to say other than that. I know Shia LaBeouf got like a bunch of heat, I guess, for doing for brown facing it, which I don't think that's I don't think that's an actual issue. I think he did really well. I don't want to say he did really well. There's not much about that movie that actually went well, but he played his role really. He's a guy who is obviously white and he's not, Hispanic, and he's just trying to kind of fit in with these guys and like has this like unwavering loyalty that, to a fault in the movie, which eventually, I'm not going to ruin it just in case you do want to watch it, but it ends up not being great for him. But like I said, it's another David Ayer, just crappy LA gangster movie, and it's really generic. It's really over the top. You would expect the like super villain to give you a like monologue, and he does. Actually, now that I think about it, he does give you monologues like all over the thing. It's really weird. Like it's just not good. And that's all I'm gonna say about it. David Ayer has really been kind of disappointing lately. I don't know if that's the case for everybody, but like with Suicide Squad, which I think catches a lot of like maybe too much flack because that may be one of the better DC movies that came out during that phase. And that's not saying much. Don't attack me for that because like I think most of the DC movies in the first phase sucked. So I'm just saying with complaints like Batman versus Superman, I think unfortunately Suicide Squad was probably the most well put together. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, like I said, I give it a 4 out of 10, but it's, it's, if you like violence and gore, it may be a good movie for you. If you like really crappy storylines, really generic, like, stereotypical LA Hispanic gang wars, then this is your movie, I guess. So, yeah, not a lot of good movies coming out right now, which kind of sucks because I think coronavirus really took a hit, as far as like, studio productions go. There's not a lot coming out, and that's unfortunate. Hopefully in like 2021, 2022, we'll see a lot more movies come out. So I really kind of hate to knock David Ayer on this one because he did release something for people, especially during a time where everybody's busy. So, you know, there's that. Yeah. So, like I said, the tax collector. The soundtrack was probably the most promising thing out of that entire movie, and it just really wasn't that great, honestly. And that's unfortunate. But let's see. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm just trying to read through some of the stuff here. Yeah, so if you've seen any good movies, please drop them, and I'll be more than happy to watch them. Uh, I would love to watch them. I'd love to watch anything that wasn't that movie. Yeah. So, and good news, and I kind of wanted to do this a little earlier. I didn't really get to. Uh, I wanted to go over some of the music that's come out today. And there was one tat them oh my gosh. So bad. Sorry, I'm catching up on some of the comments. So bad. Not even Stevens. The tats were legit. Yeah. The tats were like that was actually impressive for him to actually sit down and do that. I was like, man, that takes a lot of work. I mean, I'm a guy who like doesn't have any tattoos at all, so that's to me that's impressive. Um, tat the nibs. It's gonna be stuck in my head. Yes, 4 out of 10 Mumos. Are you a sneak your own food in the movie guy? You know what? Uh, I'm not actually. I I'm not that rebellious. I'm just not that rebellious. I don't sneak my own food. I think it kind of takes away from the experience of paying way too much for a movie that might actually suck, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Um, I'll sneak my own alcohol into a movie. Uh, so there's that. I did watch a long time ago. You know, I saw a guy make an attempt to sneak not like a snack or something. This dude like he snuck payway in, and this was in the movie like The Passion of the Christ. So that was pretty odd. But like a whole like appetizer, entree, everything, and like it like snuck up the whole movie theater. Like, and I just like don't ever want to be that guy. It's like if you're gonna eat something not ferocious. But that dude was burping hardcore for the rest of the movie, and it was pretty gnarly. Um, so yeah, but as far as that goes, please, like I said, if you have movie recommendations, please drop them. I'd love to check them out. In other news, back on the music, we have been surprised by the wonderful T Swift. Yeah, T Swift actually dropped an album that was a surprise for like everybody, and I think that's really cool. I think it's super cool when artists do something like that, because you're not expecting it and you don't know about it, and it's just kind of like boom, there it is, and you're like, cool, new music. I think that's awesome. Which there's been some really good releases, and I don't think maybe near enough for the amount of time that musicians have had uh, to work. I'm like, you have like literally nothing going on. No one's going to shows right now. So where's the music? Drop it on me, you know? And I think that's crazy. Sneak in your own candy and maybe a water bottle. Yeah, you know, that'll work. But and that's kind of the other thing is like, you know, if you have nothing going on, give me some music, give me something. Like we're looking for something in this time period, and obviously movies are not the thing. Maybe TV shows. I'm catching up on a lot of stuff that I haven't watched. Watchmen, this is pretty good. That's a good series. But anyways, back to Taylor Swift. Swifties are probably going to kill me for this. And like, you know, honestly, Swifties are like the most zealoted of fans I think I've ever met in my entire life. If you say anything bad about, you know, the T Swift, they'll kill you. Like they're willing to die for that. And I think that's crazy. I don't think I've ever met any other fan, maybe Justin Bieber fans. But you know, that's like, whatever. But like Swifties, like you say one bad or give her one bad review and like they're cutthroat, you know. And so the thing about this album is she dropped like an entire indie album on us, like like I don't even know if it's like really indie because it still has a lot of like Taylor Swift bubblegum pop elements to it. Um, Colby Cooper Volume 2 just released. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to give that one a listen. Good to know. Thank you, Skylar. Uh, but like Taylor Swift dropped a new album on us that was mostly like indie, and I think that's really cool of her. She had a little bit of that on like Lover, and you know what? Lover was not my favorite album. In fact, I'd say that's probably my least favorite album. I think Swift probably could have done better on that. Uh, but you know, that is what it is. And the thing about this album, and I told a friend who happens to be a Swiftie this, and it scares me that she's listening to this. She's probably like plotting my death as we speak. But it was like a really good album. Half of it was a good album, and the other half was complete garbage. Um, I think she had a lot. Like, oh, hold on, let me backtrack. So, "Cardigan" is like her staple song on this whole album, and I don't understand that. Like, "Cardigan" is probably the worst song on. No, it's not. It's a terrible song. That's a terrible song. "Cardigan" is full of like cheesy, crappy 15-year-old Taylor Swift metaphors, and like that's like what? Why? I don't understand that. I think it's a bad song. If you disagree with me, please, comment. I want to hear your reasoning for that. Blink 182, new song is garbage. I haven't heard it, and I'm surprised. I didn't hear about that one. Apparently, I need to turn on my like Spotify recommendations. But yeah, so "Cardigan," I don't understand how that became like the hit off the album because it's not good. I think Taylor Swift being as far into her career, I don't think we should be seeing some of that, and especially not at the forefront of the album. Overall, I think her like endeavors into this indie genre, I think have been really good. I think the songs that like were the powerhouse of this album turned out really well. And I think if you take half the album and get rid of the other half, it becomes her best album. I'm actually a really big fan of Red. And I mean, not so much Lover. I mean, she's got like a lot of really good albums, and I think this is definitely it's definitely one of the top albums. It's definitely different, but I mean, I just half of it was good, half of it wasn't. But either way, I respect that she dropped it with no promotion and like did it like that, and I think that's really cool. If you haven't checked it out, what are you doing with your life? You should definitely. I guess more on albums. I was also checking out another one, and this one kind of makes me a little sad because Logic, the rapper from Maryland, dropped a new album, and oddly enough, I think he's calling it his last album. He mentions that he got like a 6-figure salary from Twitch and is going to be doing the dad life and streaming. And actually, he was on earlier today, so if you're a fan of Twitch, get on and check it out. It's actually really cool. He's got some good stuff. No pressure. Logic's honestly been one of my favorite rappers of the day. He's not like crazy lyricist talented, but he's got, the guy's got punchy lines. He's got bars, and I mean, he's got like really good like beats. I don't know. He's just, to me, he's like, obviously I know he's not like a J. Cole. He's not like a mastermind, but he is very good at what he does. And I think if you like Logic, awesome. If you don't, this album's not going to do anything for you. But like I said, it's pretty much Logic, and I'm not unhappy with the album. It starts off great. There's a couple of tracks towards the middle of it that they're kind of just like filler tracks. I don't think he had a whole lot of heart and soul into it. But it is Logic doing Logic, and I really enjoyed it. What kind of content on Twitch is Logic putting out? He actually went through his like discography and was kind of giving you like some insight as to what he was thinking at the time, or what his lines like kind of meant. And he was going through them like bar by bar, trying to explain to people like where he came from, how it came to inspire that song. And I thought it was really cool. And that's kind of what this album is. It's like giving you his current state of mind as a dad, how he's like, he's got a song on there where it's like going through mundane life. And I think that's super cool. But like I said, there's not much like you need as far as convincing goes if you're a Logic fan. And if you're not, this album is really not going to do anything for you. But like I said, with it being his final one, I think it's really good. I don't think it's his best album. I do think it's definitely a step up from what he has been giving us lately. The last couple of albums were kind of rough, but you know, it is what it is. The man's on a roll, and I really like it. So yeah. Again, if you have any music that you want me to listen to, I'll definitely listen to it and go from there. But yeah, like I said, be expecting a little bit more from the Irrelevant Bros. We're going to be trying to work around this whole coronavirus thing. I want to know what you've been doing during the coronavirus. That's what I want to know. It's been kind of boring over here. We're just trying to put things together. Irrelevant E's finally doing the first show. I'm going to also be doing a podcast as well. And the podcast is not going to be the live stream. It's just going to be me talking about weird stuff like artificial intelligence, space, like how we found like aliens. That's crazy. Like no one's talking about that. Pentagon like came out and said, "Hey, aliens are real. We found vehicles that are off world." I think that's weird. Does no one else think that's weird? Because I think it's weird, and I want to know why no one's talking about it. That should have been a much bigger thing, especially for 2020. Like, you know, what do you expect out of 2020? This whole boat could go down tomorrow, and I probably wouldn't be surprised. I'd be upset, but you know. So what is the podcast going to be? Oh man, it's going to be a lot of like, imagine this, like, hold on. Imagine that I was a tough guy truck ranter. That's what my podcasts are going to be. I may do them from a truck. I don't even own a truck, but I may find a truck and I just might rant. You never know, because that seems to be what people do. And I'll talk about QAnon and Pizzagate and all sorts of stuff that's just utter bullshit. And it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. So yeah. Tom DeLonge wasn't crazy after all. No, that man is crazy. Tom DeLonge is absolutely nuts. But I think you know what? I think he was right. And that's weird to say. So, I mean, okay, you know what? Maybe he isn't crazy. Maybe we're all crazy. What was the last movie you rented from a Blockbuster? Oh, shit. You know what? I think during that time period, I don't think I went to a Blockbuster. I think the last thing I went to was like a Hollywood Video. And I honestly think it was that movie Accepted. It's kind of weird that I remember that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the movie was Accepted. It's not a good movie, but it's funny. I'm a lot like easier on comedies because I know what I'm like expecting out of it. I can use your truck. Thank God, you know. And then I feel like someone's going to expect me to do this now. I might have to. That's cool. I'll use your truck. Thank you, Skylar. It's very generous of you. But yeah, last movie was Accepted, and yeah, back in the dating days. Wet t-shirt party. You got it. Bring it on. We can make that happen on here. We can definitely do that. We have the technology. But yeah, so like space and shit, like that's going to be a big thing. Like it's basically conversations that you all probably would have had with me if you knew me. But like this time I'm going to put them on like record. So, because that's what I do. Yeah, we're still talking about movies. We'll be talking about just all sorts of fun stuff, you know, how robots are going to take over the world. Artificial intelligence, how we're going to live off world. I want to get weird with it. No balls. That's rude. I mean, I'm down. I'm down for the wet t-shirt party. And so like, yeah, if you go back and check out the irrelevantnetwork.com, we have a lot of things on there. We're going to be updating like podcasts for everybody. We're going to be talking about, you'll see some videos. Hopefully we're going to be doing some like vlogs. If anybody wants to go to a haunted house and like spend the night, let's vlog it. Let's do it. Seamus Clemmy, if you want to go to a haunted house and spend the night, no balls. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the plan. That's what we want to do. And the Irrelevant E show is going to be doing more of this stuff. Dissecting music, dissecting TV, movies, you know, talking stuff. Talking conspiracies with people. We're also going to be hopefully talking to other people about their favorite things. I plan on having the Swiftie on one of these shows. So Corey, if you can hear this, get ready to talk about Swift. Anything you want to see me do, great, let's do it. Tell me. You know, but I'm sorry, that wet t-shirt thing, it's killer. Yeah, so I think I don't like I said, this is the first installment. I want to be real with you guys and tell you that like I'm going to be doing more of these, and I hope that you show up, and please hit the subscribe button, uh hit the like button on everything. In depth in depth episode on the Lion King, you guys. Whew, you're not ready for that. Not ready for that at all, but okay. We can I will sit down, I'll watch the whole movie, and I'll tell you exactly play by play why that movie sucks. And you're not going to like it, but it sucks. That movie sucks, and I'll probably make you hate it by the time you're done watching it, or by the time you're done watching me, because, I'll even take clips from that 3-part edition. Wow. It might take it, because that movie is very long, and it's like 2-part movie, and both parts suck. Like, Simba is the worst protagonist in the history of movies. Although I will say, after watching The Tax Collector, that villain, like, over the top. I don't think there's a worse villain. I'm trying to think of a worse villain, and it's really hard. Like, that guy, like, Satan worshiper, like, human sacrifices. It's really, really over the top. Like, David Ayer, you definitely jumped the shark on that shit. But whew, okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bounce out for today. But like I said, welcome to the Irrelevant E Show. There's gonna be a lot more. Gonna be doing a lot more. Check out for some vlogs. We're gonna be just doing a lot of stuff that we've been wanting to do for a long time. And why not? The world's crazy, and who knows? Maybe it ends in 2020. Maybe the aliens come and get us and probe us. I hope not. That would suck. But thanks again for checking it out, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Like I said, drop the comments. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want to hear. And yeah, love you guys. Thanks for coming.